The contact form is actually a relatively simple form. However, the form is dynamically generated and can be configured using the content management system WordPress. As a result, we had to make sure that it is accessible not only in the current form, in other words, not only with these input fields that you have here, but for all future forms that could be created with the content management system. So we had to build accessibility into the WordPress plugin so that it generates accessible forms. So in terms of what we had to do, we had to make sure that the labels were correctly associated with the input fields, that error messages that appear like this are also correctly associated with the input fields. We used ARIA markup to do some of that. We also had to make sure that things like the required field were both marked up visually, in this case with a star, as well as programmatically. We also had to make sure that things like the field formatting instructions, in terms, you can see an example here with the phone format, that was programmatically associated with the inputs, and once again we were able to make use of a lot of ARIA markup in order to achieve a lot of this. We did have some difficulty with some of the ARIA markup, which you can see if you look at this element over here. We were actually forced to place a role equals text box onto a text area element, and that was in order to be able to get the ARIA required to work correctly for this type of input field. Now that's not necessarily documented behavior, but that is one of the difficulties that we faced in making sure that all of the form fields were spoken correctly by all the screen readers and worked correctly.